Even his godlike strength to rise must fall. That is the diplomacy. So that you lift up again, nature will remain otherwise unfulfilled. His greater consciousness withdrew behind. Therefore, his greater consciousness is there. Now he has to attain to the lower consciousness. Dim and reckless, his human outside strove to feel again the old sublimities. Bring the high saving touch, the ethereal flame, call back to its dire need, the divine force. So that is the lower nature calling for the divine force to come and work here, the divine Shakti to come work here. Always the power poured back like sudden rain. Yeah, but you see, but because he is opening gradually, there is also the pouring of the higher power, higher consciousness here. Poured back like sudden rain, sudden, unexpected. He does not know how it has happened. He is struggling, he is striving, he has no clue how to do things, but suddenly the divine inspiration is there. In other words, there is a constant dual effort, something rising from above, something constantly pressing from above, something rising from below. So these two are constantly happening. So while Ashwapati is opening more and more to the higher power, there is also something which is entering from above. See. In fact, that is the complementary aspect of this growth. You see. Always the power poured back like sudden ray, or slowly in his breast a presence grew. It clambered back to some remembered height, clambered back to some remembered height, or soared above the peak from which it fell. Yeah, it has gone to a very high summit, it has fallen there, and it is now climbing back again here. Now, it clambered back to some high remembered height, some high remembered height. See, this again reminds you that Ashwapati is the incarnation of the Supreme. He has taken the birth in this creation. And when Ashwapati is here, he is remembering that thing. Yes, I have come from that place. And therefore, he is trying to climb up to that thing. Climber is a flat wall, and then with the foothold and handhold, you start climbing up the wall. You see, like that. That is a climbering, you see. It's a very difficult process of taking up nature, you see. That is how you are clambering. In fact, we are more than clambering, you see. You see. Most of the time we fall. But then again we fall to climb up, you see. Slowly in his breast a presence grew. It clambered back to some remembered height. Yes, I have come from the supramental height. Yes, I have come from Satchidananda. Yes, I have come from somewhere else. Beyond that, he remembers that thing and he is trying to climb back. He is trying to go back up to that thing. He soared above the peak from which it fell. See, he has fallen from a certain height. Now he wants to go even beyond that peak above, or soared above the peak from which it fell. So it is not, that is the diplomacy. You have climbed up to this peak, you have fallen here. Now you don't want to climb up just to that, you want to climb up to the other higher peak, you see, go up, you see. Each time he rose, there was a larger poise. Yeah, that is how you establish greater and greater power in the lower nature. You establish a poise and then lift up slowly, slowly, slowly up. You see. A dwelling on a higher spirit plane, the light remained in him a longer space. Because that inspiration, that power which was there here in him, it was staying only for a short time now. But now with this tapasya, with this yoga, that power is able to stay with him for a longer time. See, the light remained in him a longer space. Longer space here, of course, stands for duration. In fact, that is the classical form of word. This is space. You see, duration, time. You see. In fact, this kind of a construction, longer space or space, while space, here we have used number of times in Savitri like that, you see, number of places. In this oscillation between earth and heaven, yeah, coming up and going down, coming up and going. It's not only an oscillation, it is also spiraling up. You come spiral up and go up, you see. In this oscillation between earth and heaven, in this ineffable communion's climb, yes, you are always in communion with that thing, and it is ineffable, it is inexpressible, and you are climbing up. There grew in him as grows a waxing moon, from no moon to full moon. Gradually, his spiritual possibilities are opening up. The glory of the integer of his soul, the soul is becoming now full, it is becoming full glory, you see, complete digit, moon as a full digit, full moon, you see. In his oscillation between earth and heaven, in this ineffable communion's climb, there grew in him as grows the waxing moon, the glory of the integer of his soul. So his soul has become a digit now, full, completely, you see. The diplomacy has paid now that he is able to take up something from below also and join it to the higher one. A union of the real with the unique, a union of the real, that is the absolute, the supreme, unique, that is you as an individual, your soul. These two together, their union. A union of the real with the unique. A gaze of the alone from every face. So, who is looking through you? It is he alone who is looking through your faces. It is not you are looking, it is he who is actually looking throughout this creation. A gaze of the alone from every face. That is what he sees. He does not see what a mental being is seeing. He sees in that mental being the person as the alone himself, present everywhere. The presence of the eternal in the hour. This is another example. Presence of the eternal in the hour, the individual. You see, alone from every face, hours, they stand for unique, the individuals, the multiplicity of creation. See. The presence of the eternal in the hour, widening the mortal mind's half look on things, bringing the gap between man's force and pain, made whole the fragment being. We are here. So that alone, that gaze of the alone throughout has made everything a whole, completely. Kind of a completeness is attained. Between fragment being, yeah, we are fragment being, we are partial being, we are only mental beings. Yes.
Can you repeat, please, what is the real and the unique?
Real and unique.
Yeah.
Real stands for the absolute, the supreme. Unique, we individual souls.
That's what it's not capital unique.
Yeah, we the individual souls.
Oh, the supreme was the individual. Yeah. Okay.
So it is the, in other words, in the absolute, there is no multiplicity. But when the multiplicity is created by the absolute, then through that multiplicity, it is the absolute himself who is seeing unity. The gaze of the alone, you see, it is that alone. She is alone, absolute, single, real. In fact, here, real, alone, eternal, they are synonyms in a way. Yeah. At last was one firm spiritual poise. So that is the spiritual transformation which is taking place in him. Now he is kind of established in the spiritual poise. Now, of course, with all this spiritual sadhana, tapasya, yoga, what he has done, what he has got is a spiritual poise. It is not yet Gnostic poise. It is not yet transcendental poise. It is not the poise of the Supreme, you see, because he is growing up. He is a part of this creation, you see. It is still a spiritual poise, you see. In fact, that is what the mother says, Shivananda also says in his yoga. See, we have got three stages of transformation: the psychic transformation, the spiritual transformation, then the Gnostic or supramental transformation, you see. Then comes that, you see. Spiritual transformation, you see everywhere the Brahman, self alone, you see. He alone, you see. Your consciousness is Brahmic consciousness, oneness, unity. That becomes a part of the spiritual poise, you see. In other words, he is seeing now everywhere filled up with Brahman alone in essence. A constant lodging in the eternal realm, a safety in the silence and the ray, a settlement in the immutable, a safety. Because now he is in that poise, therefore there is a safety. See, until that spiritual poise is attained, you are not really safe. You are governed by mind, you are drifted by mind, by your vital ambitions, and desires and feeling that. You see, your body's inertia, body's reluctance to do things. So that safety is now completely with him for that. His heights are being lived in the still self. That is passive Brahman, you see. Still self, Atman. You see. His mind could rest on a supernal ground and look down on the magic and the play, where God child lies in the lap of night and dawn, and the everlasting puts on time to the sky, and the everlasting puts on time to the sky, and the everlasting puts on time to the sky. See, it goes on, the rhythm, you see. Where the God child lies on the lap of night and dawn. See, this is a very different kind of surrealistic poetry. In fact, this is a purely Vedic poetry. The Vedic poetry is full of such surrealism, spiritual surrealism, and you see the intensity of the spiritual surrealism in such passages here. See, his heights are being lived in the still self. See, it is a very plain statement, but it is a very high statement also. Still self, passive Brahman, quiet, you see, that is the poise now he has got. His mind could rest on a supernal ground, on a very high ground. So the chaos, the turmoil, the difficulties of mind, they are kind of getting absorbed. And look down on the magic and the play. Yeah, this is the magic, this is the play, it is a game which is gone. So from that poise he is seeing the entire play of this creation he is seeing. Where, what is there in this play? In this play is the God child who lies in the lap of night and dawn. Now this is a very occult kind of statement, a difficult statement also. I mean, the language is very simple. There is no difficult word here not to understand. You see, every word you can understand. But the contents are absolutely occult, of a different kind altogether. You see. Who is the God child? Who is night? Who is dawn? Now, we did not go into the metaphysics of night and dawn and that kind of a thing, but you can feel what is being conveyed there, you see. It's not necessary to understand from the point of view of mind, from the rational reasoning, as a part of a metaphysics. But you feel what the God child is, what the night is, what the dawn here. You experience that thing. You at once kind of get in contact with them in this line. By this line itself, you are put directly in contact with the God child, with the night, with the dawn, you see. And see, he doesn't say in the lap of night and day. He doesn't say day, he said dawn. See, very particular also, you see, very particular, very precise. In other words, there cannot be anything mathematically more precise than such a statement. Even mathematics cannot make such a statement as precise as this one. God child in the lap of night and dawn. You see. God child, Divya Balaka. Child is Balaka, you see. That is a Sanskrit word. Child, Balaka. God, Divya, divine child, God child. And he is in the lap of night and dawn. Both of them are his mothers. Night and dawn, you see, of that child, you see. He is God child who is there in us. All of us are having that God child in us. We are not aware of it. It is a divine flame, divine Agni who is present within us. It is divine Agni who grows in us. The gods desired that let Agni be there present in man. In fact, that is what the Rigveda says. By the passion of the gods, Agni was made to enter into man. By the passion of the God, the work, the desire, the compulsion, the kind of a work of transformation which can be done from above, it is in that compulsion gods insisted that Agni should go and stay in man. Agni should go and stay in man. And it is that Agni, the psychic being who is present in us. It is He grows. He grows from life to life. He carries our progress forward constantly, continuously. This divine psychic being who is present here. So gods have done, the gods are not there for nothing. See, they have willed, they have compelled Agni, and Agni got compelled also by them and entered into man and stayed in the man as a psychic being. And because of that, the inner work is going on here. Otherwise, there was no possibility at all for us to grow, you see, psychic being, you see. So if something has to grow, it is only through the psychic being it can grow, through that divine Agni who is present here. Now, the Gita says, he is my small little bit, my ansha. Gita says, that divine Agni is my little bit, my small ansha, you see. Mamai ansha, he says. He is a small bit of things. So like that, Angushta Matra Purusha. He is no bigger than the thumb of a man. That is what the Upanishad says. No bigger than the thumb of man who is there within us, you see. That is what the Upanishad says, you see. It is that God child who grows. You see. I mean, when you say Angushta Matra Purusha, he is a being. He is a child which is very small, growing from nothing, so to say, practically, you see. And he is constantly progressing. Not only progressing in the sense that he is also taking along with him the lower nature, the physical nature, the vital nature, and carry it forward, you see. Now, this has been happening all along in the darkness of this creation. When the spiritual light is not seen, when the divine sun is not visible at all here, you see. So he has come now all the way up to a spiritual possibility that God child has grown up to a spiritual possibility by remaining in the lap of the ignorant creation here and seeing now a new spiritual opening coming out, new spiritual opening, that is the dawn, which is seeing here, you see. So it is that what he is now going to see here constantly, you see. So where the God child lies on the lap of night and day, both of them are necessary because it is there he has to do work in the night. And now this slowly has come to the point of view of spiritual openings, you see, and the work can go further. And everlasting puts on time's disguise, you see.